Lockdown, I think, has been really difficult for everyone, but there's been particular issues for survivors of sexual crime. We have had people phoning us from cupboards, phoning us from like out in their car, just to try and find like a safe, quiet space to speak. What we do in Rape Crisis is provide support to anyone affected by sexual violence. So that could be somebody who was raped yesterday, or it could be somebody who was abused as a child 30 years ago and has never spoken about it. It can be a really scary thing to pick up the phone to an organisation like Rape Crisis for the very first time. And it might be the very first time somebody's spoken about something, maybe something that happened a long time ago. So I think the really important thing is that people know that we're there, we're not going to judge somebody, we're going to listen to them, and we're going to help them in any way that we can. There's been real issues, I think, for people trying to cope during lockdown. So we put in another funding application to the government for additional resources to try and enable us to have the capacity in place to meet that increased demand when restrictions are lifted. We know it's going to be busy. I mean, we're already seeing quite a bit of increased demand, for example, in our advocacy project, that there's been a huge increase in demand. And I think that's just about people who are really struggling with the delays in the court system, and they're just needing additional support, like more support than before. What people say to us is that it was a life-saving service. I think sexual violence is such a traumatic crime. Sometimes people feel that it's hard maybe to talk to their family or their partner or their husband or wife, just because they're maybe worried about upsetting them. What we think at Rape Crisis is that people should be able to access support at the point of need. So it's such a difficult thing to try and access support for yourself following a rape or sexual assault, and nobody should be faced with waiting lists or engaged tones. They should get the support when they need it, and that's why funding appeals like this are so important.